back, friends. We're going to go over the 7.5 and 7.4 AP Classroom questions for you guys. Let's start with the 7.4s really quickly. So in this first problem we're running through here, and they're asking like, hey, which of these arrays would not allow this to work appropriately? And this one's a little tricky because it's trying to remove consecutive values. And you can see that we're checking, does this value at this index, does it equal the value that comes after it at the next index? And we're like, yeah, that kind of makes sense naturally. We would remove one of them and we'd skip the one that we just kind of went over. But check out why it doesn't work here. In this down example right here, we'd grab the number 2 and we'd check the value next to it and say, yes, you are indeed a pair. So they would remove this first 2 here, and then it would instantly jump my J's. So I was in index number 1. I have a +1 here, so now I'm in index 2. I have another +1 here, so now I'm in index 3. But guys, if one of these got removed, I'm about to check this value of 3 right here. If I check this one and the one after it, those are technically not the same values in consecutive indices. So unfortunately, we're missing out because of this J++. We're missing out on the ability to check this first 3 with the second one, just because of the way that those indices are moving. So that was probably the toughest one that was on here. The rest of these, as we jump through here, you can see that this one's asking for like removing elements. You'll notice that I don't have the J minus after I remove that element. That issue is going to occur right here whenever we have consecutive values. So that issue only really occurs with consecutive values. You need to make sure that once you remove this 3 right here and this one takes its place, you have to recheck that same exact index with a J minus. And then the very last one in here, what would happen if I caused this number 4 to be thrown into this function? Typically, we normally don't think it would be too big of an issue, but when it comes down to it, I want you to check this out. When index becomes 3, because the number 4 is larger than all of these. So when the index 3 comes by, I'm going to be checking this value. Is the number 4 larger than whatever's at index 3? Yes, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and update this so my index is now the value of 4. Is the number 4 larger than the element that's at index 4? Index 4 is not a valid index, actually. And so that's going to be the issue with this one, is we just end up with some sort of an out-of-bounds error going through. The 7.5, if we take a look at these ones were pretty nice. This one just came through and asked, what if I changed this right here? What if I changed it to just say that it is less than or equal to the array size -1? That actually is not going to have any effect on it at all. You're basically including something extra here, but excluding something here. So it does kind of cancel each other out in the fact that every single element is going to be checked appropriately. For the second one coming through here, we're asking what happens if I change the starting value of my J from 0 to the starting value of 1? Well, guys, if I don't check index 0 right away, there's a potential that what I'm looking for was in index 0, and I won't be able to test it. I won't be able to return that true value going forward. And then last but not least, we've got this one where it says, what is going to happen when I replace these values going forward? It says, if I replace line 5, I wish they would have given the method. Oh, the method in line 5 replaced with this value here. What is going to happen here? It says, after the change, the method will never check the first element going forward. And again, that's just because you'll notice here that this doesn't actually include index 0. If we had a J is greater than or equal to 0, we would have gotten that last index good to go. So those were those 2 MCs, or I should say the AP classrooms. If you guys have other questions, please let me know.